You're listening to the Small and Supercharged podcast with Ria Freeman, episode 238.
Hello and welcome to this episode of the Small and Supercharged podcast. It's a solo with me, and today we're talking about the unicorn of social media, going viral. Now last week, when you listen to this, it will be last week, I was asked to go on to the radio, BBC Hereford and Worcester, if you want to listen, to talk about going viral and what it means, and also why people are so obsessed with it. And I thought it would be a really good subject for a podcast because, you know, whenever we think of our social media, of the posts we put out, the objective is to get it seen by people. Now, the objective is to get it seen by the right people, absolutely, but there's that line, isn't there, between the right people and just any people. So that's what I want to talk about today, about what a viral video is, or a viral content is. It doesn't have to be a video. It could be a meme or a photograph or anything else. Why people really want to go viral. Why I don't think that should be the aim of our content, but I'm very open for discussion as always. So do feel free to comment below this post and tell me why you think I'm wrong, if you think I'm wrong, or if you agree, all the better. And also what to do if you do go viral, because that's a super exciting thing. It's really exciting when content gets a life of its own. And I thought it would be good to chat about that as well. So the first thing is, what does it actually mean to go viral? Now, I think the best way to think of it is indeed like a virus. And we've had a few of those over the last few years, haven't we? And how a virus spreads. So I'm pretty sure we can all think back to those brilliant briefings that happened during that strange period. And when we were looking at the R rate and how stuff spreads, so it goes from one person to however many people, let's say 5. So 1 to 5, then each of those 5 is another 5. And before you know it, lots of people have got a virus. Now, we don't want to be giving people viruses, of course. This is not the point of this podcast. It's small and supercharged, not small and super infected. But that's the concept. So the concept is a piece of content that just quickly picks up a life of its own and gets spread around people really quickly. This can happen for lots of reasons. Often, if the piece of content is very, very shareable, that can give it a really good boost because someone sees it, they share it. Some of their fans and followers see it, they love it, they share it, and so that continues. It could be views and engagement, and the platform it's on then goes, oh, that's quite good content, shows it to more people, which can then help to kind of really get the ball rolling on that. I've seen that happen as well. But the key part is, it's the viral content. There is something about it that makes it very shareable, very interesting, very engageable. You can engage with it. It's something special. Now, the thing that's so annoying is that it is incredibly hard to predict what will go viral and what won't. The shareable aspect is clearly a key point, but equally, if you have a piece of content that people share, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go viral. The viral point is when it kind of takes on a life of its own and you don't really control it anymore. Now, I've been reading up on this about what actually the definition of viral is, because what does it mean? And really, and I do agree with this to a point. There's one train of thought, which is from Sprout Social, which says it's generally a post with over 100,000 likes or views and 1,000 plus comments. And that's what they say. However, I think there are different levels of virality. So if, for example, you had an account that usually got 100,000 likes, that, you know, let's say you had millions and millions of followers and that was normal for you, then that wouldn't be, in my opinion, a viral post. It'd be a brilliant post, but I think the viral aspect is when it's unexpected and when it massively exceeds what your normal levels are. So it could be that actually for you normally get, 2,000 views on a reel, and you've got one reel that's got 50,000, 60,000, 70,000, 99,000 views. In your world, that could be viral because it's greatly exceeded what you usually do, and the views have gone up really, really quickly. Someone else, that could be average, that could be an average day. I think we always want our content to do well, but the actual level of it is different. It's a bit of a tricky one because I've been thinking about this for a fair amount. Obviously, I got asked to go on the radio and talk about it, so I do give a little bit of thought to those kind of things. But I think the key here is it's content that goes massively exceeds your usual levels. You sort of lose control of it in terms of how quickly it grows, and it is that standout unicorn of a post that is different, that is not normal for you. And now again, I went to my trusty friend that is Google, and I looked at the most viral videos. Now, according to Wikipedia, the baby shark dance is the most viral video of all time. Now, if you've ever heard that song, if you have children, or whether you've just been unlucky enough to hear that song, it's not, how do I word this tactfully? I mean, if you've got kids and you've heard it and your brain sings it, I mean, it's going to be in my head all day now. It's not exactly deep thinking, incredible, life-changing content on that point of view. But that doesn't mean it's not viral. The viralness, the virality, and the quality of the content don't necessarily go hand in hand. The amount of time it takes you to produce the content and the likelihood of it going viral do not necessarily go hand in hand. I've seen loads of examples of videos that have just been hilarious and well timed, and they have gone absolutely mad on social media, but some really carefully edited piece of genius hasn't. So that's not, it's again, hence why it makes it difficult to predict. If we knew that you just put in however much work and you did these particular things and it would definitely go viral, that would be a different animal, because then you just need to work out whether or not you're prepared to put in the work. But that is not how it works. So for lots of people, going viral is an aim, it's an objective, because they want to get their content in front of loads of people. And also there's obviously the chance that with content that goes viral, it gives greater exposure to the creator, which can lead to other opportunities that you can't necessarily predict and you can't necessarily see because you don't know about them. Particularly if you have a lot of viral content. Viral content is the kind of thing that news sites, newspapers even write about. So it can be really positive for building your own personal brand, for getting that awareness around you, for getting that credibility, depending on what the content is. So there are reasons why it can be useful. It can grow your social media following as well. I've seen that happen because people are like, oh, this person's cool, look at the other stuff they've made, that's really interesting. And it can help to really grow people's social media following, 100%. And that is why it is an aim for a lot of people. I mean, if we think about some kind of celebrities, when they break the internet and things like that, that's viral content, but then some of those people were celebrities before that happened. But I think in essence, we want to have viral content. Maybe for the celebrity angle, maybe some people really want that angle. But I think for the reach is the key. Because no person puts out content on a public platform and doesn't want it to do well. We want our content to reach everybody relevant and more, to kind of make our time effort pay off. Because I think that can be really disappointing. You put loads of effort into something, loads of time into something, and then it just kind of drags itself over the finish line. Oh, it's just really disappointing in terms of reach, engagement, everything. That is really sad. So I get it, but I don't think we should be aiming for that because we cannot control it. We cannot control whether something will go viral. We can look at, can do loads of analysis on content that has gone viral and look at look at the kind of the fingerprints, the DNA of it. Often, well, again, if we look at these sort of trending ones I've got on if we look at the viral ones I've got on the computer here, there's a lot of songs going on. So we can look at things that can increase the chances, perhaps. I mean, trending audios are a big thing on Instagram particularly. On TikTok, using, if you can, obviously depending on your account, use those trending audios. It can help to get you additional reach than something that hasn't been discovered yet. Absolutely, I've seen that work. It's very well documented. But the viralness is a slightly different thing that we can't predict. But what we can do is we can make sure we're putting out our best content. And I think as we're looking at what we can control, that's the key. So viral is something that I genuinely don't think we can control. But putting out our best content is. Now, obviously, we want our content to get the best reach it can, the most engagement. So we need to think about that when we structure our content. We also need to look at our previous popular content and look at what's really worked for our audience. What have people engaged with? What have people saved? What have people shared? What has got a little bit of a life of its own? It doesn't matter whether it's at the dizzy heights of viral or not, but what has really sort of done its work? What has done a good job? We can look at things. Was it how-tos? Was it behind the scenes? Was it, day in your life? What was it that people were really interested in? That's a really good place to start with content that your audience finds engaging and is likely to get the increased reach. And then work on making that better. Ticking those boxes. Make it as good as you possibly can. Because that's all you can control, and also that stays on brand for you. Some of these viral things I'm looking at here, if a business person did them, it would be crazy. It would be so off-brand, it would look like they were two completely different personalities running an account. Sometimes the viral content is completely not commercial. And whilst on your business account you might think, it'd be really fun to share that because it connects with me. Absolutely. But you sharing something completely crazy, there's obviously the Charlie bit my finger one that went completely mental. If you have an account where you're talking about some kind of product for dogs or adults and you're showing a picture of a kid biting another kid's finger, that's a little bit left field. So whilst it could go viral, the chances are it's just going to look really strange and really like it doesn't fit with your account, which then could undermine your, people's opinion or people's, not opinion, maybe respect. That's probably too strong a word. People's perception of you as a brand. It's more important to stay on brand with what you do than to be thinking, I'll just do something really, really random and crazy because I want to get viral. Because also if that happens, you're going viral for something that isn't at all related to what you're doing. So if you do get an influx of followers because you've done a video of a kid biting another kid's finger, let's just pick on that one, and you sell bath products for, let's say, that doesn't have any connection. So even if they followed you because of the hilarious thing, the rest of your content is not going to appeal to them. And that's why I think that we shouldn't be aiming at viral. We should be aiming at great reach, great engagement, building that community, which we can control to an extent. We can do our best, but we can't plan for the unicorn. If the unicorn happens, you want it to be with content that relates to you as a person, you as a brand, and you as what you do. So if and when you do get that surge of followers, they're going to be there for the right reasons. They're much more likely to engage, to convert, to be useful, helpful, interesting followers. So that's what I think is really important, not going viral. Now, if you do go viral because you've created this amazing content that is aligned with your brand and people love it, then well done you. Enjoy it. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy watching those numbers go up. Tell people, share it a few more times yourself. Keep people posted. If you see something going up through the thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions, keep sharing it. It's a great opportunity. Let's say it's on Instagram. It's a great thing to keep sharing it up and saying, look at the number of views I've got, to keep that, to kind of keep giving it a little bit more exposure. Enjoy it. I'm not against viral content as well. As I said, it is that unicorn. But what I'm saying is that we need to be creating content that is true to us, that is authentic, that is on brand, whether we're a personal brand or a business brand, so that when it does go viral, it has the maximum chance of doing good things for us, rather than something completely random, which is great for the ego, but doesn't really generate anything. So if you do go viral, well done you. And there are lots of great examples I've seen of people who have had a huge uplift on certain videos and certain content, which has been incredibly good for them, which is on brand and is relevant for them. So don't think it can only happen if you do something crazy. That is not the case at all. Far from it. But it might just be a little bit harder. But then what's worth having that's easy, right? So they are my thoughts on going viral, why it's a nice to have, but it's not an essential. You can still have an incredibly good business without ever going viral. There are loads of examples of that online. Loads of examples of that. Just aim for that increased reach, that quality content, the increased engagement. They're the really useful things that you can aim at. Of course, sometimes your content doesn't get shown to people. There are loads of reasons why we know about this, and that's really frustrating. But I think it's important to just keep in mind what the overall objective of your account is, not necessarily the overall objective of individual pieces of content that aren't aligned with your brand. I hope that has been useful. It's been something that I was chatting about it, and I thought actually it's a really good point, because it's something that, we all want. It's lovely to get really nice positive comments, to get lots of reach, to get lots of views. It's really nice because it kind of validates what we're doing and why we're doing it. But it's a funny one. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. If you want any tips on social media, in addition to how to build your brand on a budget, I would absolutely recommend my book, Small and Supercharged, Small Steps to Supercharge Your Brand on a Budget, available on Amazon. Lots of lovely reviews. Do have a look. Let me know if you've picked it up or bought it. Don't steal it. And I would love to hear what you think about it. Thanks so much for listening today, and we will catch up really, really soon. Bye.